Go subscribe. Yeah, subscribe.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Brews and Reviews. I'm gonna review this historic halftime show. No beer in the video today. I had a few too many beers last night, but I still had to get into this historic occasion where we got some of the legends in this genre performing at the biggest American event that there can be. And I hope you realize the historical significance of this. I remember growing up, The Chronic was one of the first real hip hop records that I was introduced to, and we never heard shit like that before. Of course, I went back and dug into Eazy-E and NWA, and that was on the same type of vibe, but The Chronic was bringing it to the masses. At that point, Dre was making mainstream gangsta rap, and I remember the pushback that came from so many parental groups and conservative groups on how bad the music was. Him and Snoop Dogg, whenever Snoop dropped Doggy Style, and the backlash that they received was just insane. So it's crazy now, 30 years later, that they're performing at the most American sports event ever. They've taken over, hip hop's taken over. This is the proof right here. And really, I can think of none better to do it, especially given that the Super Bowl was in LA and they pay homage to that. I'll talk about that later, but none better to do it than these dudes that are up here rhyming. So if you know me, you know what I do. I'm not just gonna do a reaction to this. I'm gonna talk about a lot of the history involved in some of these tracks and rappers and lyrics, and talk about some of the controversial moments that got into here, and also some of the production value of the performance itself. So let's get into it. Nice intro here. I like what they did with a lot of these graphics. Oh, yeah, I thought that was a graphic. That was actually a scene of Dr. Dre. Explosive. Snoop's on here with the Rams colors and a Crip bandana. Snoop's got the Death Row Records medallion. This is history right here because Snoop just bought Death Row Records and he's on here representing it. I was surprised that he didn't really say anything about that on the show. Actually, there were a lot of announcements I was surprised didn't come, like the Kendrick album, for example, but he's still representing. We know what that chain means. Look at him crip walking. Threw up a C at the end of his performance there. Dre having a little fun with the dancers. So this Tam's Burgers, they apparently have a lot of Los Angeles landmarks, and that's what this whole set was about, that Eve After Dark. These are all famous places in LA. California Love. I thought they might do this one. People were expecting the Tupac hologram to make an appearance, but that didn't happen. That's okay, because we got enough star power right here. We don't need the hologram. I always like this Dre beat. If you guys didn't know, this was originally sampled by EPMD before Dre sampled it for Pac. You heard the crowd scream when he said from Diego to the Bay. Oh, they like this California Love. And this set, I think this is like California neighborhoods down there in the LA area. They got the street lights and kind of a bird's eye view. Yeah. This was the big surprise. 50 was there. He's the one who made the guest appearance. Look at him hanging upside down, all the blood rushing to his head. How long had he been hanging like that? They need to let that dude down. He's kind of old to be doing that these days. There was a lot of choreographing in this whole performance from everybody. I really didn't expect to be that much choreography, even though I know that that always happens in the Super Bowl, but they put a lot into it, getting all these dancers and getting the routines down for them. And the way they all had it planned out, you wouldn't think that superstars like this might put that much time into it, because they could come out and play these hits and, you know, just without the production value, and it would be okay with us. But they really went all out. I respect that. Mary J, she did her thing. I think she might be lip syncing though, coming out looking like Tina Turner. And look, it's not just the dancers with her, it's the dancers all on the top levels and the dancers on the bottom levels. It's all choreographed and they're all kind of doing different things. Dre produced this beat, if you didn't know. If you're kind of wondering what Mary J was doing there, Dre produced these tracks. She went off on this. I like how they smooth it out, like right in the middle here. Everything else that they're playing is so hype, and they just decided to do this real smooth track, settle it down, the dancers stop, the smoke's going in the background, and Mary J is just letting her voice shine. I like that. I like that. Oh, here we go. Kendrick. Mad City. It's been too long since we've seen you, Kendrick. Where are you at? Put out an album. Come on. Ooh. What's crazy here is he played All Right, which was kind of became the unofficial theme song of the George Floyd killing and protests and police brutality protests, everything that was going on, going along with Colin Kaepernick's movement, and how against the NFL was at the time for that is very ironic that he's on here in this all black garb, being very symbolic and playing the theme song of what Colin Kaepernick was all about. I love the way Kendrick moves, man. He's just such a good performer. He's moving so differently than any other rapper. And I love all these dudes too. All these rappers that were here. Of course, they're classic, but Kendrick, given that he's still in his prime, is the one that I'm most excited to drop an album. So this is one of the controversies that he censored himself on the track. And I was talking about all those themes. He actually didn't say, and we hate Popo. The NFL probably didn't want him to say that, probably suggested it. And he went along with it, didn't say it. But Eminem and Dre both made statements that the NFL probably didn't want them to make on this kind of platform. So they made up for Kendrick censoring himself here. But when it comes down to it, he really just didn't say the word Popo. He said, we hate, and they want to kill us in the street for show. So we know what he meant. You know, the message was out there. I think everybody caught what he was saying. So it's really not as big a censorship as people say because the message got across. Man, look at the maestro up there. Forgot About Dre? I really thought we'd hear Forgot About Dre in full. We got Lose Yourself. That's appropriate. That's appropriate. It's been a crossover for sports themes for a long time. Anderson.Paak there. I love how happy Anderson.Paak is to be there. He's rocking out to this song. He was even mouthing the words, Mom Spaghetti. Is this the Free Nationals here that are playing with Anderson.Paak? People are saying that M was lip syncing here because he takes the mic away and you hear go. Y'all don't understand that there are backing tracks when they do live performances like this. You know how hard it is to go from a verse, and you got to have that breath control just to get through the verse, to be moving around like that and then go straight into a chorus on a track like this. It can't be done by any human. So they have that backing track to back them up. Some people use hype men, but would have been cool if Royce was here, but we don't see him. Pac could have done it, but they chose to use a reference track. There's some nice shoes M has on. Here's another controversial moment. M making a statement and kneeling, and supposedly Roger Goodell and the NFL told him not to kneel there. He went ahead and did it anyway, defiantly. And you can see the reaction on Anderson.Paak and Dr. Dre that maybe this was an unscripted moment from M. I like it. Dre sitting down at the piano. For any doubters that he actually contributed to many of his famous beats. Look at that. Yeah. I ain't mad at you. Yeah. You knew we were going to hear this one. This one was in the commercials. Still Dre. You know what I'm disappointed about though? This is the last track And we did hear a little music from Nothing But a G Thang, but I'm really surprised and disappointed that they didn't play Nothing But a G Thang. If you talk about the seminal songs of the 90s, seminal songs in gangsta rap, basically ushering in that genre of G-Funk as well, then Nothing But a G Thang is almost unparalleled. Songs of the 90s, no doubt. I'm just shocked that they didn't play it. This was such a great beat though. And they got the live instrumentation all throughout the performance. I really like that. That's gotta feel great for people like Dre and Snoop that they made this in a studio. And now they're out here in front of all these people performing it, and they got live instrumentation playing these beats, wearing that all black. Dre's been dressing the same for years. Still not loving police. He said it. He said it. Kendrick didn't say popo, but Dre said still not loving police. This is great at the end here, where they all come out. They're all grooving to the track. Look at all the rappers wearing black, and Snoop's the only one in blue and yellow. He's representing though. You can tell at the end there, Dr. Dre's humbled to be doing this in his own city. That's a huge statement for his career and legacy. It's really incredible, long overdue that hip hop got represented at this venue, but I love it. That just shows how far this music that used to be shunned by the mainstream has come. So to wrap this up, like I said, I'm disappointed we didn't hear Nothing But a G Thang. I thought we might hear a little more from each artist. I don't know what I was thinking because I knew there was a lot to pack in. Personally, I might have skipped 50 Cent and got a little more of the Dre and Snoop or Kendrick or Eminem songs. I thought we might hear My Name Is or Without Me. I definitely thought we'd hear Humble. Very surprised that we didn't hear that. Nothing But a G Thang, Dre Day, Gin and Juice. I'm very shocked that we didn't hear Gin and Juice on this for sure. But we got what we got. They got so many tracks. You can't fit all that in with this many performers in this kind of time frame. This was only 15 minutes, but it felt much longer because it was so epic. I can't wait to hear more stuff like this in years to come. In fact, maybe they could do it at MetLife Stadium next year and get the powerhouses of the East like Wu-Tang, Nas to come and perform. And that would solve the problem. They said that a Super Bowl team got home field advantage 2 years in a row. If they did it at MetLife Stadium, they know that the Jets aren't going to the Super Bowl, so it solves another problem there. Come on, Roger Goodell, let's get the woo out there. Thank you for watching my review and reaction to the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. If you like this, go ahead and hit like now and hit me up in the comments. If you didn't like it, also let me know why in the comments. I drop hip-hop and hops related content consistently, so subscribe to my channel now. And until I see you next time, keep buzzing. Man says subscribe.
But if he's on his channel saying that somebody's album is better than mine, unsubscribe to that motherfucker.
No, your album's the best, man.
There you go. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe.